So, hi everyone. Today is Disney's due date. But if she is in labour, which she probably is in very early stages, it is early stages. The temperature's been down today, which is a good sign of labour. But she has eaten this morning, which probably means it's not going to happen for a while. We were hoping she was going to do another daytime delivery like last time, but doesn't look at the minute like that's going to happen. So yeah, it's a little bit like, I don't know, just waiting really. Got a couple of little ducklings, got a few nearly out, 2 are out. Then I rescued a little chick of unknown variety because I'm not very good with wild birds. It's a little sparrow or something. It's very little anyway. The dogs found it in a puddle. It looks little to be flying, but it definitely couldn't fly when it was so wet. So that's in the cardboard box under the heat lamp with the duckling. At the minute, I don't really know what to do with it. I think it's the type that eats like, I don't know, flies and worms and stuff. So, yeah, I haven't got any of them. I'll have to go and catch some worms or something. I'll send Sarah in to do it. And Gloria. You big Gloria. You big girl. So yeah, that's going on. Helen's going to sit with Disney for an hour or so while I take this lot for a walk. But I think I'm going to do a little bit of training with them when I get back in, just doing a puppy class. Because the first, I think Aria's on session number 4 on Friday. Yeah, must be that amount. And anyway, the first 3 sessions, it's all been stuff she's found quite easy. But now we're starting to work on getting behaviours without treats or with like less of a hand gesture. So like when you ask them to go down, you don't put your hand all the way to the ground. You're sort of working on not needing to do that. And then, you know, sitting without treats, which actually she found easy. And then it was because of my mistake. But it's also just the routine of the class is Pod's 1 week behind Aria. So I know what's coming for week 3 for him. And it'll be 4 for her. So I might give him a little bit of a head start because he'll find doing stuff without treats and with less of a hand gesture harder. And if we all remember what Podrick was like to learn down, it took him forever. So learning down or performing down with less of a hand gesture is going to be quite tough for him. So I might give him a bit of a head start. Then the other thing they worked on was Leave It, which is actually not something I've done a lot of with them. Partly because Aria hasn't got a lot of food drive, and it's kind of pointless teaching her Leave It when you can hardly get her interested in it in the first place. Yeah, and look how big my poddy's got. So I've had 2 nights on the sofa, 3 actually, with Disney, and then it's been really hard that the first 2 nights I tried sleeping with all of the dogs in that room, which meant all of them on the sofa with me. Well, not all of them, but 4 of them on a sofa with me. I just couldn't sleep. So I evicted Lily, Pod and Duds last night, and I did it like when I still was watching TV. It was getting late, but So I did it because then they could settle while I wasn't trying to sleep. So it took them a while, actually. It took Dudley... Lily wasn't too bad, a little bit of whining and then she shut up. Dudley kept barking like there was somebody there, because he thinks that's going to make me go and see if somebody's there, therefore go to him. But eventually he gave that up because I wasn't paying it any attention, even though it was really annoying. I didn't give him any attention. I just completely ignored it. And then Pod took ages to settle, which is funny because, like, you know, he's fine when I go up to bed, but he knows when I go up to bed that he doesn't go up to bed and it's okay. But he didn't like the fact that I was in a different room downstairs without him, and he was crying by the baby gate, and then he was pawing at the baby gate, and again just ignored it, even though it was really annoying. And he just sort of, well, I think they call it self-soothing. I think it's probably a baby term, innit? You just let him cry it out. And it is hard, because you either find it annoying or you find it really pitiful. And it was a bit pitiful, but it was also really annoying. And both of those sort of emotions make you want to give in. But they do settle. But the longer you leave it without letting them self-soothe, like if I'd given in and brought Pod in because I felt sorry for him, he would have learned in his mind, if I cry and whimper and paw at the baby gate, they come and get me. So that means that the next time I try and do that, he'll just do it for longer, because he knows eventually I'm going to come and get him. So even though it took him quite a while last night to do it, I didn't give in, and he did settle and he was quiet the rest of the night. So then hopefully tonight it'll be even less time until he's quiet. Yeah, so that's just like a little bit of, you know, it'll work for any dog of any age. Obviously the older they are, the harder they'll find it. The younger they are, the easier they'll find it. But the younger they are, the harder you'll find it to give in to them. Because you do, they're a baby and they're crying and you're like, oh, pity. But you know what? If your routine's going to be that they sleep downstairs, then the sooner they get into that routine, the better. We've already been out playing with Giz and Spud this morning. Disney did, and I left her in, but I thought I'd bring her out for a little walk, because it might just, a little bit of movement might help move things around a little bit. And she got to come out and pee anyway, and she does, and yeah. And then somebody on Facebook, on our Hafwenna Facebook page, commented that Saren's face wasn't showing in pictures. And it's like, yeah, because Saren doesn't like having a picture taken. And I wasn't taking a picture of Saren, taking a picture of the dog. And it was like, oh, it's just suspicious that it's the puppy farm. Well, these pair were from the last litter we had, and they're nearly 8 months old. So it's not like I'm having litters all the time, number one. And number two, the picture was clearly in the house. Disney's in a nearly £400 Italian imported whelping box. You know, having a cuddle. She's on vet bed. She's got heat lamp going. She's got everything, yeah? And not only that, like, look at our social media. You find me a puppy farm that treats their dogs like this, that has their dogs out like this, that goes the places we do, that does the things we do, that has so few litters, that has so many gaps between litters. Yeah? You know, Disney, she's due, well, today, but her last litter was Judith, and Judith would be 2 in July. You know, so nearly 2 years since their last litter. Nearly. So, you know, think about it. And, you know, my picture of a puppy farm is when they don't live in the house. When they're either in stables or cages. When they're not walked. When they're not taken places. When they're not trained. When they don't have a lot of freedom. They, you know, they're bred from and they have a mixture of registered and unregistered litters. Once, twice a year, pretty much every season they can breed from. And then they lie to you about how many litters they've had. When they charge top price for an ill puppy. You know, when they have puppies returned to them because they're ill. You have all these things, and then, you know, the puppies are born and raised outside in stables or in cages. They lack the socialisation to a lot of things. Pod, calm down. Guys. Good, guys. Calm down. Calm it down. You know, the dogs are in poor condition. Dogs are grimy. Grimy is a good word. Because, like, my dogs get dirty. They get mucky and muddy, but they're not grimy. They're not consistently dirty. They don't have, I think Podrick's collar was about 20 quid's worth. Nala and Dud's were about 30. Judith was about 30 or 35. You know, that's just their collars. They got coats. They got drying coats. So like nearly 50 quid each. You know, I spoiled my dogs. And then, like, I'm up here in £6 fake croc clogs. £6 because I was too tight to pay, I don't know, however much Crocs are. I'm wearing a hoodie with holes in it. Because what's the matter? I'm up here with my dogs. If my dogs needed something, they get it. You know, they're on good quality food. Everything. Anyway, I'm ranting now because I just didn't feel it was a very fair or very thought out accusation just because a kid, and she's a kid, she's 13, didn't show her face in some of the pictures. You know, just think about it. Like this litter now, I won't leave their sides for the first 3 weeks. Somebody will be with those puppies 24/7. I arrange, like, for my friends to come and sit with them for like 20 minutes, half hour while I rush down to Tesco's and do a quick shop. I order in all my animal feed so I don't have to go and get that. I've arranged for Helen and Sarah to sit with the dogs while I go and sit with the puppy, while I take the dogs for a walk. You know, you make plans for all this litter so those puppies are never left. Because, well, so much can happen. And for the rest of the 8 weeks they will barely be left for an hour. But luckily they're just getting old enough that you can leave them for an hour while you go for a dog walk with the others. But that's it. That's the most they'd be left. So, like, just think about things. And think about the impact of what you say, and think about the reality. You know, Lily's had 2 litters. Disney's had 1, soon to be 2. And Nala's had 1 litter. That is all the litters the Havana Dalmatians has had. You know, so does that really sound like a puppy farm to you? We show and train our dogs, do obedience, do trick dog titles, go on dally rallies and walks, everything that we do. Anyway, I shall see you all soon for hopefully Disney's Labour. Bye.